Welcome back, folks. We had the Dow Industrials finish up 54, Nasdaq up 51, S&P's up 8.5. Let's go to our man, Mr. Basil Chapman, as we do each and every Thursday at 20 past the second hour. Don't forget, folks, Basil has an outstanding show every trading day right here at TFNN, 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. Also has a great newsletter, The Opening Call. You can come over to our website at TFNN. Hit newsletters, check it out. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Outstanding newsletter. Basil Chapman, what's going on, brother?
Hi, Tom. How are you doing?
Good, man. Yourself?
Very good. I'm just wondering, any relation to this person right here? Look at this. Construction on Boston's biggest office tower in decades, poised to start next summer after the project attracted a major new investor, Carp Properties of Washington, D.C., taking 50% stake in One Congress, a 1 million square foot, 528-foot skyscraper proposed for a top part of the government center garage. The investment will put developers in position to start work in 2019 and to open the building in 2022, said Tom O'Brien, managing partner of HYM Investment Group, which is leading the project.
Look at that. What a ride.
Isn't that interesting, huh?
I love it. Now, look at that building. Oh, my God.
It's a beauty. Yeah, I mean, I've always loved the John Hancock. I actually saw them put it up. I've got pictures of it as the world's tallest plywood building. You remember the windows were breaking?
I do.
And they had to take all the windows out and replace them. I got pictures. I used to live in the Back Bay at the time, and I got pictures of the whole thing. And I love the building. I've always disliked the Prudential building, but this is a beauty. Look at it.
That is gorgeous. You want to hear a crazy story, folks, in Basel? What this shows is that how fast technology can go and bring us fast forward. When the Prudential Center, so picture in Boston, folks, the Prudential Center, when I went into service, which was in '68, the Customs building was one of the biggest buildings in Boston, and the Prudential was there, and I think the John Hancock, they were just built also, okay?
No, Prudential was in 71, 72.
No, it would have been before that, because...
well, that's when it was started, so it might have been started earlier.
Oh, you mean yes. John Hancock?
Yeah.
John Hancock.
I'm sorry, the John
Hancock, yeah.
Prudential was earlier.
Because,
yes.
yeah, this is about the Prudential. So that's what... Wait, hear this. This is a crazy story, folks. What happened is that when the Prudential got built, the parking garage was owned by Fitz Inn. He was Fitzgerald was basically a big parking lot owner. Well, you know how the Prudential folks... all the stairs were outside.
Right.
And guess
covered, yes.
And guess what, folks? When it snowed, do you know how they cleaned that place, folks? They cleaned that place with people shoveling snow. Shoveling. So check this out. I was like 10 or 11, and my uncle worked for Fitz Inn, so I'd get a job there, and we would shovel snow for weeks at a time to get it out. And when I think about that, and it was a great job. It was a great job, by the way. But when I think about that, Basil, it's like, are you kidding me? Like, so picture this, folks. What happens is that, you know, you get snow blowers and all that now, and they had snow blowers at that time, but they knew that they could get a bunch of kids and shovel that thing out quicker. Isn't that a sick story? And we all loved it. Everyone, you know, there's a bunch of us from South Boston. We knew if it snowed, man, okay, great, we're going to go make some money at the Prudential because they paid us big money. I mean, I think, you know, when we say big money, it's like $3 an hour.
It was. That was good, yeah.
Crazy. Hey, so I'm going to have to keep you for a couple segments. Let's go back to this picture for a second because I know, you know, people ask me about real estate all the time. Of course, we're in the real estate market big down here. I was in the real estate market in Boston. And the differential to me, Basil, is still to this point is that we still cash flow down here in a big way. Now, in South Boston, folks, they don't cash flow. Everything's $600 a foot.
No way. You can't make it.
You can't. Where you live, forget it. You can't buy a closet for $2 million, right? I mean, forget it. So... now, looking at this building, I know that you love to do workshops, right?
Right.
So it's going to be intriguing, right? Do we get a new building like this and like, okay, so Boston's going to come in and take a hit.
It's giving you, right, it's giving you everything. But you know what's interesting? In Florida, you went through, basically it was virtually like a depression from 2008. I mean, the real estate was... So we didn't experience that. 10, 15%, maybe in some properties, maybe 20%. Majority really just
that's in,
the prices held. We haven't had our 1991, 92, 40%, 50%. So I'm watching this decline. I'm watching this very closely.
That's interesting, man. So you didn't go down like, see, what Basil's talking about, folks in Boston, there was a real estate that went down 50% in 89, 90, and 91.
When the banks folded in the New England area.
And so this one here, you didn't do a 40% pullback.
No, nothing even close. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, interesting.
Okay. So let's get to the markets.
To the market. Okay. So I'm looking at the Dow. I actually had a signal yesterday for subscribers intraday, as I said, if the Dow goes underneath 26,415 after 2 o'clock. We want to go short. We did go short. We actually got stopped out. I'm sorry we did, but I think Apple added so much to the Dow today that it just hit our stop. We were short the dog, just 1-to-1 a position there. Very small loss, less than a 1%. But I'm sorry that we got out because I think that we've got a very choppy sideways to down market for a little while coming here. And so that's the Dow. And the Dow, if it breaks under, it's at 26,439. You can see a little doji candle at a peak D right there, 26,769, all-time high. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, well, a digestive phase should come. And I think that if 26,327, which is the 14-period moving average, if there's a close below that, then I feel convinced that we've got a little time. I'm not so sure yet about price because of this rotation through today. Today could have been actually quite an ugly day if Apple wasn't really leading to the upside for the techs. So I don't know yet because another stock could take the leadership position. So, and Boeing looks a little tired here. I think it's got one little pop to the upside. Then it might pull back some. So it's the Dow we're looking at. In the meantime, we did go long. I told you, I think last week, that we were looking at sectors. I like to get my subscribers into a sector that looks like it's kind of oversold. It had a big run, then it was ready to move. So we're all along the steel sector with the steel SLX, which is trading up about 2 points from where we bought it. That was on the 13th of September. We had a really nice gain. I've taken some of it off for subscribers in AKS, which is AK Steel. We got it at 436 and it's trading at $4.82. That's a nice gain, and it still looks pretty strong because I said get out of the steel sector all the way from that August pullback. I said tariffs, I want to see some profits. Now I think there's a chance that some steel could actually start to do something very positive in terms of earnings. We'll see if that happens. So AK Steel is a very low-priced one, but it's performing well, and that's very nice.
That's a great trading stock, too.
It is a great trading stock. And then we're still along the IBB from the 110s. We've had it for quite a while, trading at 121 right now. Still along the UTX position. Part of it, it's at 140. We're in the 119 area. And we did go short, once again, the semiconductors. And I've been talking about this for some time, saying I think the semis are kind of a heads up to say there could be a pullback if they start to pull back sharply. So they pull back a little bit, but at 106, if the SMHs break 104 in the next 2 weeks, that's a big problem.
Hey, just stay with me for another segment, all right? Awesome. Stay right there, folks. Basil and I are coming right back. We had the Dow Industrials finish up 54, NASDAQ up 51, S&P's up 8.5. Basil and I are going to be coming right back, folks. Welcome back, folks. Talking with our man, Mr. Basil Chapman. We are talking markets. And don't forget, folks, you can listen to Basil every trading day right here at TFNN, 12 to 1 Eastern Standard Time. He also has a great newsletter, The Opening Call. Come over to our website. Check out The Opening Call, 30-day money-back guarantee. Okay, so let's see. We got Citas, right?
Yes, I thought what I'd do is just kind of give you an overview of what I'm looking at as what could possibly go wrong. Everybody knows what could go right.
Yes.
So I have what I've called an index. Of course, Dave White would be the first one to say using 4 stocks as an index is nuts. You need at least 30 or 50, but that's not the point. The point is I've chosen 4 stocks. I chose them a little while back, called it an index just because it's something I'm following real closely. I call it cash, and C is for Cintas, A is for Amazon, S is for the SPY, the S&P 500 trading vehicle, and the H is for Home Depot. And I think that kind of covers a sector of the market.
Yeah.
Cintas is a corporation. You'll see the little trucks driving around, overalls, uniform rentals, and that sort of thing. And I've always used it as a kind of a tell. It's usually late on the upside when the market turns down. People don't know that it's turning down, so they're still renting. So it lasts a little longer on the upside, and on the downside, it turns close to the bottom. So I'm watching it closely. So it goes to, in the Chapman wave, the peak F is where I'm always looking to say, okay, be real careful. At 217.34 on the 7th of September, it goes to an all-time high. Then it kind of goes sideways, and I'm keeping my eye on it because if you look on this left side chart, the daily, look at the way the stochastic is, the MACD is moving average convergence, divergence, two moving averages, crossed negative way back in mid-August and just kept going down, yet the price very slowly went up. That's a divergence. Sometimes it doesn't mean anything because the MACD turns up and then the price goes higher. But in this particular instance, it kind of stalled, and then the stochastic kept going lower and lower. All of a sudden, they come out with news 3 nights ago, and evidently, we looked at it this morning. I had a call, and we were looking at the news. The news, they earned about the same, but maybe that was disappointing. But other news was quite good. I thought they were talking about the outlook. No, nothing there about the outlook. So this is price disappointed. When price disappoints, that's different to an outlook, because an outlook means we're doing well, we should continue doing well as long as the outlook hopefully changes, but we're at least doing okay. In this particular instance, regardless of the outlook, the price has deteriorated terribly. It's gone from 217 to almost the low today of 197, and that is just in a couple of weeks. That's really bad.
And, yeah, that's a great point, Basil. And, this thing, folks, came down on volume, too. Now, granted, the only time it ever had a pullback as the market, it was in February. It's like I'm looking at this chart. I mean, this is an equity, folks, that started at $17 and basically, and did hit a high of 217. So pretty intense.
But look at the monthly. This is the first big red candle.
Yeah.
You've had two little red candles somewhere there in July of 2016.
Look at that, huh?
This is the first really. I mean, this is an amazing chart. You could have bought this and just gone off on a world trip and forgot about everything else.
And the cool thing about this equity, what Basil was saying, folks, is that this equity here, it's not an equity that makes money just on large companies. It makes money across the country on small companies, middle companies, and large companies. I remember this company, I used to get my mats off them when I had the pizza place in 1976.
Yeah, they go back a long time.
Right.
This is nothing to sneeze at. This is quite serious for this particular company. So that's number one. So we go to Amazon. So Amazon was disappointing for the last couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden today, it pushed quite higher. It's very close to the all-time 50.50 all-time high. Back on the 4th of September, it had a 2013 round number, which was a clue to say, hey, be careful. But my reasoning with round numbers is if this closes above 2013, there's a chance it could go back to the all-time high. So out of the two, one's deteriorated terribly, and one did pull back a little bit, but now it's almost back to the highs. Now we go to the SPY, and the SPY, you were talking about a little earlier, this is starting to weaken. Aaron, look at these three candles with these long-legged dojis, the long-legged wicks.
Yeah.
It kept, for 3 days, it's tried to rally, and it's kept pulling back to the 14-period moving average. And the MACD and stochastic are weak in the daily. And the weekly and monthly charts are still very good at this particular point. So I'm watching this very closely because at 290, if there's any trade for a day or two that goes into, say, under 289.20, which is just $1.50 away, I think it's at least a short-term top. Then you get Home Depot, and Home Depot, of course, is just everywhere. I mean, this is whether there are hurricanes, storms, whatever it is. Home Depot has been a beneficiary for a long time. Also, the monthly chart is extremely good. Weekly chart has just made a peak. D is pulling back, but it is starting to deteriorate technically. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, keep an eye on this and put it together with what you were talking about a moment ago, the TLT, which made a trough E, but if I do the TBT, which is like the mirror image, this is the inversion, this is the ultra-short Lehman 20-year Treasury bond ETF.
Okay.
Look, it's made some kind of a top that you got to respect because the MACD is turning down a little bit, still good. Stochastic's now gone under 80%, and it's pulled back from the 39.07 high. So I'm watching this. My reasoning has been, and this could be wrong, but we haven't had a test of it yet, is that when the yields start to come down because bonds are being bought, it could be because people are getting a little nervous about the stock with the volatility. Volatility always means selling.
Yes.
The volatility in the market. And that means that maybe money will come out of stocks at some point, at least in this short to intermediate term, and go into bonds. So I'm watching all these different things as clues.
Just so they can get their money back. Now, I mean, it's intriguing, if you have been in the market for a long period of time, it's like, okay, is the market going to go up forever? Listen, it might. The other side of that, I think what Basil's saying, which I totally agree, is that, some people say, okay, I want some safe money now. And the difference in the bond market is, most times folks, U.S. Treasuries notes, they're definitely safe. That's one of the safest instruments you can
one
get.
of the things also is the euro and bonds. People just have no idea how much money is involved. It's
Right.
way more money than the stock market. That is big.
It's huge.
So those are the clues for me that I'm looking at. So I think choppy to down in the stock market. The Dow was the laggard. I think it's going to start pulling back here. You can see that the IWM is very weak, the small caps. So this is a very select time. And I've been saying for a little while, raising some cash, I don't think is a bad idea.
Yeah, and this time of the year, too. It's pretty intriguing, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we always appreciate the education, Basil. Hey, so what's the weather like up in Boston right now?
Well, as soon as we're done, I've got some people waiting for me for tennis, so we're still playing outdoors, but it's starting to, we'll get cold very soon.
Oh, yeah, but this is like the best, the fall in Boston's gorgeous, right? Yeah.
Well, it was a lovely day because it wasn't humid. Yesterday was very humid.
Really?
Today's not.
Interesting.
Yeah. We had a strange day. It was, when you open the door, the heat from the humidity made all the windows and the doors, all the glass. You got the
dew.
Condensation.
I
Right.
love it. I love it.
Yeah.
We're used to that down
You're
here.
used to that, but at this time of the year, this is unusual, right?
You gotta love it. Okay, man. You have a great one, a safe one, Basil. We look forward to the show tomorrow.
Thank you, Tom. Have a great evening.
Thank you. The market-wise out here, folks, bottom line is that you got the Dow up 54, NASDAQ up 51, S&P's up 10. Gold contract, gold might have a tough day tomorrow, folks. We're down $12 going into a Friday. King dollar caught a bid that was up 832 ticks. Stay right there, folks. Coming right back.